This is real snug.
That's not gonna do at all.
Oh, Paulie. This is all my fault.
Solomon, no. Don't you dare.
Sure we will.
I gotta say, between now and launch, Fallout 76 has had a myriad of issues and controversies that have just left it in the dirt. Issue after issue, lie after lie, gross negligence after gross negligence. Bethesda would do one thing right, and then 3 bad things would pop up and just ruin their parade. This is not the case with Fallout 76 Wastelanders, the expansion that brings actual NPCs back into the Fallout universe, as it should have been from the get-go. Alas, I am not one to cry over spilled milk. If Bethesda was going to expand on any aspect of Fallout 76, it was surely going to be the NPCs and the stories that you experienced around them. And I'm not talking NPCs from Fallout 4 either, I'm talking NPCs from like Fallout New Vegas, where the written dialogue is good, the voice acting is even better, and the choices you have are a lot more than just yes, no, maybe, and why. Getting right into it, the actual conversations with these NPCs allow you to respond in a variety of ways, but beyond that, there are even responses that incorporate the RPG elements of the game. So for example, if you have 8+ strength, you can do a totally different response that either provides you with a shortcut or extra loot. In fact, there was one instance where I completed this quest objective and then an enemy raider showed up and started talking to me, asking me like, oh, who I am and blah blah blah, and I fed him some lies, and then another enemy raider comes up, right? And because of what I said to the first guy, I used my charisma, and this other NPC overheard me. It was scripted, obviously, but still, the other guy overheard what I said using my charisma stat, and then, because of what I said to that first NPC, the second one started attacking the first guy who came up to me, and they started fighting, and I just was able to kill them both quite easily. And it was just a really interesting and fun experience to see that, and I haven't seen that yet in Fallout 76 or even Fallout 4 for that matter. Now when you're talking to one NPC, other NPCs will chime in as well, and the camera will pan over to them as they're talking. And that's kind of a neat little feature. I haven't really seen that before. It's not handled perfectly. The execution is still a little raw, a little sloppy. Like if the other person says something for a couple of seconds, the camera will start panning over there, and then as soon as he stops, it'll pan right back, and it won't have fully panned over by that time, and it's kind of jarring in that way. But you know, typical Bethesda jank. The dialogue part aside, NPCs are now everywhere. They have fully immersed themselves into the world of Appalachia. So the places you visited in previous playthroughs or previous save states prior to this expansion, you'll go there now and you'll actually see NPCs there. Some will even give you quests or talk to you and have these dialogue trees. Others won't do as much, but they will still give you progression towards the new faction system that has a rating, positive or negative, and there's 2 different factions. You have the settlers and then you have the raiders, and you can side with either or, which is also kind of a cool thing. A lot of these NPCs you can actually kill too and take their loot and whatnot. The ones that actually give you the quests and the scripted dialogue, not so much. They can't really die, because it would have been really funny to see Bethesda try to work out a system that would have allowed you to kill the story NPCs, because I'm pretty sure that would have broken the game 10 times over. I mean, we know Bethesda here. I haven't completed the entirety of the new storyline, but from what I have seen, I am pretty impressed, especially given what we have come from with Oblivion and Skyrim and the previous Fallouts. The illusion of choice is fully at play here, but don't look too closely because you might see some seams. And because of what I have seen, I actually have a little bit of hope for the Elder Scrolls 6. I know, right? Shocker. So the NPCs are everywhere now. This is a good thing. However, it doesn't change a lot of the base content. Going through a lot of the old stuff with the Overseer and finding all the different logs and the lack of NPCs, well, that's still kind of there. The new NPCs will be there, and they may be engaging with some of the wildlife or ghouls that are kind of around the area, but that's pretty much to the extent that you'll see them engage with previous old content. On the gameplay front, things haven't improved as much as I would hope they would have. The gunplay is just as clunky as ever. In fact, I stopped using a controller and have been using the mouse and keyboard, and it's still super clunky. It just seems difficult for whatever reason to line up a shot properly. It's the way the enemies move, it's the way that I move. It's really hard to pin down what the issue is, but it just doesn't feel right. And then there's the mission design. A lot of them still, even the new ones, still feel like fetch quests. You go here, you you get this thing, you kill the enemies there, and that's pretty much it. Coming from something like Half-Life Alyx to Fallout 76, oh my goodness, it was incredibly jarring, and not in a good way. But I'll tell you what does still work and work well, and that would be the base building. In fact, half of my recent playtime was me just improving my house, setting up my shop, trying to make things more expedient, efficient, and the urge to improve my house, its functionality, its size, and its scope is half of what makes me want to explore the rest of the world and check every nook and cranny and corner for the materials that I would need to do so. You can even have NPCs now hang out at your base and live there and help protect it. That's so cool to me. They won't follow you on missions or exploring, but they'll be there for you to return to, and that's just super cool. They'll even give you quests from time to time. So at the end of the day, I have to say that Fallout 76 Wastelanders was definitely more than one step forward and definitely less than 3 steps back. Are there still things to iron out and improve? Oh yeah, for sure. But for the first time in a long time, I actually have an urge to go back and play as I talk right now and make this review. And that's why, even with its current faults, I'm going to give Fallout 76 Wastelanders a 7 out of 10. And to see a higher score, we're going to have to see better mission design, better performance, better optimizations, less bugs, and a continued overhaul of the base content. But let me know what you think in the comments down below, and if you enjoyed the video, give me a like, a subscription, and hit that notification bell before you go. Thank you for watching, and I will catch you next time.